I'm going back to the text. Right? Newspapers, they contain a lot of information, so you can spread a lot of information. Often they're read by many people. So one issue is often read by 6 people, as in fragile and repressive countries. But there is, of course, the literacy problem. If you can't read, a newspaper is not very effective. And distribution. So every day or every week, you have to take your newspapers to all cities. And so therefore, it's often only fresh in the cities, and it's not widely read in rural environments.
Now that you talk about the people, you were saying that before you develop this media organizations in those respective countries, you first look into what's already being established. Do you also look at the general sentiments of the people? Because, for example, in China, I hear that these free, independent organizations, like the journalistic institutions, are not too successful because there is this genuine resistance by the people that prioritizes state stability over this individual liberty, which is the free press and so on and so forth. And if you're not taking that into account, then isn't also enforcing this free press some sort of the same kind of scheme that you talked about in UN Security Council, where it's the Western interest for the
Great point. Maybe you should give the T-shirt to her. Actually, maybe I've drawn a bit a wrong picture. We try to establish as little as possible organizations. Only in situations where there is really nothing, like in Darfur, we establish something, but always with people. But for instance, in Somalia, where there are already many radio stations, we're supporting the existing media outlets. So that's why when we come to a country, we assess what there already is, and we build on the people that are working there and know the situation on the ground. Because it wouldn't make any sense if I would go to X country and try to reinvent the wheel there, whereas I don't know the culture, the cultural sensitivities, the whole paradigm itself. No, that's why we work with local partners, but we also have our trainers and our expertise, so we try to match up and see where it's possible. But sometimes, frankly, we come to a country and we see there are either other media development organizations working, or we're seeing that the media landscape is not showing too much movement, and we say, no, we don't do it. North Korea is a country like that, for instance, that the Americans are pushing a lot behind the screens, and everything is so politicized that we cannot see a partner or a space that we think we really have added value. So we don't have the feeling that we should be everywhere in the world per se. We try to be there where we can make a difference, where we can help people have access to information and express themselves freely. Does it? Yeah? I love critical questions. And then internet and mobile, which is completely the new paradigm, right? With this is actually a photo I took not too long ago in Egypt, in Cairo. And this shows that social media can do what Brecht hoped for radio when he wrote in 1926, when radio first was introduced in Germany. The real potential of radio only will be actualized if the listener can talk back. And right now it's possible to have a dialogue with the audience. And that's quite an interesting thing. So just to get an idea, how many TVs do you think there are in the world? Come on, let's shoot.
800 million.
1.6 billion. How many PCs, including laptops?
1 billion.
1.7 billion. So try to keep in your mind the amount of people in the world. Okay, and how many FM radios?
12 billion.
What was that, 4? It's 3.9 billion, so you're really close. But there are about 4 million cell phones. 4 billion. So there are more people now who have a mobile phone than an FM radio in such a short amount of time. That's pretty awesome, I'd say. So, and also a tremendous possibility. So we see a migration from almost all traditional media to the web. So a lot of almost all media outlets have their presence on the web, but still the earning models are very problematic institutionally, because probably who of you is paying regularly for content on the internet? One person. Well, so this kind of, and I bet you all consume quite a lot of news, right? But you're not paying for it. But someone is producing it. And that person perhaps should be getting paid. So that is a problem that is definitely not solved yet. And it's not only facing institutions, but it's also facing individuals. So we're creating this huge freelance, precarious journalistic workforce that gets laid off all the time and has to work for its wages. And then all of a sudden, let's take a step back to the Somalia problem. And then it's getting easier and easier that you think maybe I should not be so critical and just produce what people want to hear. And maybe people do not want to hear necessarily the critical stories, but more laudatory stories. Or maybe even a company wants to pay me to write stories on the web about their company. And what you see, there is quite an interesting book called Small World News, which shows that more and more jobs are cut at newspapers and television stations and media institutions. So more and more of the information that comes from the news agencies is directly put through on TV. But the stuff that's got from news agencies often comes from PR companies that just send their PR reports or their interesting stuff to these news agencies like Reuters or AP. You think, oh, that's a funny thing. And then it's directly placed on in the media, because there's less and less capacity to research and to check and double check the stories. So there we see that all corporatocracy is not only owning media companies more and more and getting it into big firms that should produce profit, but it's also because the content that's created is getting more and more, not from independent journalists, but from content creators.